go? What's good, y'all? Welcome or welcome back to Dawn My Spiritual Guidance. It's your girl Dawn, and we got a message for you. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Welcome to your timeless collective message. A love message that is. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, the song that I was just channeling now, singing, that song, I think it's Battlefield, and I think Jordan Sparks sings it, I believe. And I'm saying I'm thinking that used to be my song. One of, right? And the part was, why does love always feel like a battlefield, a battlefield, a battlefield, right? Guess you better go and get your armor. So some of you guys could be feeling like your love life, like, why is love so hard? Why does love always have to involve so many fights, so many ups and downs, so much conflict, so much turmoil, so much toxicity, right? That's some of the experiences that you guys have been experiencing when it comes to love, and not just romanticism, platonic too, right? With family members, friends, so on and so, people at your job that you care for. It just feels like, dang, why does it feel like one moment, things can be okay, and then the next minute it just feels like, dang, I gotta put my arm on, suit and boot. Like, why does love feel like that? Right? Like, why does something that's supposed to be so lighthearted and pure feel so rough and rigid? Right? So basically, when it feels like that, and don't get me wrong, because real love, yes, you still are going to go through conflicts, right? This is why God gave us, problem solving and conflict resolution skills. But it's not supposed to surpass a certain level of conflict, if you get my drift here, So let's tap in, Holy Spirit. So we have reconciliation. Somebody wants to reconcile with you. Okay, or you want to reconcile with someone. Flip the energies as you see fit. Put yourself on the side of the story as you see fit. Okay. We have let go of control issues in reverse. So someone who wants a reconciliation with you is trying to still hold on to your energy. They don't want to let you go. Energetically, for some of you guys, if you're in separation, they're again trying to still hold on to your energy. Okay, where is this codependent type of situation going on here? Yeah, new love in reverse. This is not anybody. You know exactly who this is for a lot of you. Okay, if this is not you, it comes to someone else. Again, flip energies as you see fit. Past life relationship. So this is someone that you have known before in past lives. You may just not know it. Okay. Yeah, so be mindful of people who feel familiar, or people who feel and that's easier said than done, right? Because when we have a lot of love for someone, but there is a difference between conditional love versus like actual real God love, right? And real God love, it doesn't feel super painful. Yes, you may go through certain situations that may feel uncomfortable when you have to have challenging conversations with the people you love, right? Because nobody's perfect. But there's again, if it's super painful, abusive, that's not love at all, to be honest. Okay? So some of you guys, you need to make sure you know what real love is. And make sure that whoever you are with and or trying to get with is capable of providing that to you. There used to be someone I was so in love with. Okay? And it was unexpected because this person was not my type at all. So that really tells you it was real. Like, at all. This person was not my type at all. And so with that being said, things went further after some time. unexpectedly. And it broke off in a sense. We never made it to a committed relationship. Talked about it, never made it there. And a part of the reason why a lot of that, I'm like, we're not even friends anymore. That's how separated things are. And we're doing some reflection, right? Some shadow work, some healing. Like, I had to accept the fact that, although this person could have made different acts, could have taken different actions that didn't have to be as painful, I still would have had a sense of unfulfillment because I knew that this person hadn't healed. Like, at the time, I didn't know to the degree, but after taking time for myself and doing some healing, it is now very apparent that, hey, this person didn't barely heal their wounds. So what does this mean for me? The wounds that they did not heal, they are unable to provide me with what I need. So for example, if I need loyalty and they have unhealed wounds where they are constantly violating people's loyalty, I'm bound to get hurt because this person has no morality or integrity. They have to heal whatever wound that caused that, right? And you can't force anybody to heal. They have to see it as an issue because they're the ones that have to implement the new work and lessons and behaviors, right? And want to do it for that change to occur and be permanent, right? I had to accept the fact that, man, because this person didn't heal their wounds, they grew up in a very loveless family. And due to that, accompanied with the fact that they never healed their unhealed wounds, they are then unable and not capable to give me what I desire that would help me feel safe, secure, happy, and fulfilled with God right smack dab in the center. Okay? And so does that hurt? Like some of you guys may have to come into a realization that although you may really like a person, they are not in a position to give you or provide you with what you need. And some of you guys could have already come up with that hypothesis there. But yeah, like you guys haven't, for a lot of you guys, you're in separation. You haven't talked to each other in a long time. In some cases that may be for the best, right? Especially if this energy wasn't kind to you. Okay. We have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. New love in reverse. Yeah. And codependency. Yeah. This is an energy. They want to reconnect with you to be codependent on you, with you. And it's not a healthy codependency in a sense. There are certain relationships where, because we're constantly healing until the day we die, and there are relationships where you can heal in them because the other person has those parts that can feel healing for you, and you have certain parts that can feel healing towards them. Now, all parts may not be healing for each other, so those are the things that you got to work the kinks out with a therapist or a coach or whatever, and bring that happiness to your connection there. But if you don't have people who are willing, you can't heal in a connection, right? Because sometimes that healing in that connection means literally doing your part to where you might be codependent. Like somebody may have to, stay at home and watch the baby because the baby may have a chronic illness and you don't want to leave them in anybody else's hands. So you may not be in a position to be able to work because you have to be a caretaker to your child, right? 24/7. And then that leaves the other person to have to work or possibly work overtime or whatever the case may be, right? So there is this codependency, or when you have a more healthy dynamic and there's truth, clarity, God, loyalty, faithfulness, commitment involved, it's not necessarily making this codependency so bad. It's more of a healthier give and take type thing. Okay, but that's not what this is. But that may be something that may come on your path that could be better for you, healing wise, and actually take you to the next level. Okay, after you get some time with some self-love and care for yourself. Okay. Ew. And I also want to mention too, engagement in reverse came out. So maybe this energy wanted to get engaged to you, or in some ways. All right. Or vice versa here. Or develop some sort of, some of you guys could have gotten engaged and called the engagement off for one reason or another. Okay, whatever the case is. What happened, Holy Spirit? Look at that. Reciprocation. And we just talked about equal give and take, exchange consistently, equally. Make sure there's a healthy give and take dynamic in your connections, whatever that may look like for you. You can't always give and you can't always take. Needing balance. You or someone you're dealing with is breadcrumbing. Reciprocation doesn't have to be the same exchange. For example, a friend may cook a meal for the both of you. In return, you wash the dishes and put the leftovers away. Right? But in this dynamic, that wasn't the case. Even if it's a poly connection, and there's several different types of poly connections, that's even more, like, you have to be even more cautious. You have to make sure that the people you choose to be with, that you guys actually want to do this. You come up with the rules, regulations, right? You have God in the center, because, like, if somebody violates whatever rules and agreements you guys have in place without you guys revisiting them first, they can that can expose you to other people in that connection to danger, right? So it's like respect. I don't know. I mean, yes, my shirt says that, but that's what just came out. Everybody needing to have respect for one another, because then that's going to dictate how you operate and move around and for that person and or people. Okay, so maybe because somebody didn't respect you as much or misjudged you, they didn't reciprocate with you, or vice versa. And what now they do, or this is what they're saying. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we have happiness and fulfillment in reverse here. Yeah, so, this is a situation where it's really hard, right? Breakups period, or separation period, whether it's a, relationship, friendship, marriage, whatever have you. And when you really love someone, no matter how toxic it is, okay, let's just be full transparency. When you really love someone, whatever version of love that we're talking about, right? Because there's some people that don't grow up with real love, but it's their version of love, okay? It hurts like hell, okay? Heartache. It hurts like hell. Grief, separation, suffering, hurting, loss, grieving, separation, going through a breakup and or a situation that feels very painful, experiencing pain and suffering. So yeah, it's like this energy is feeling pain and suffering without you. But what happened that caused the separation, Holy Spirit? Or you are feeling, spiritual awakening is what triggered this separation. Rise in consciousness, elevating, sacred, uncertainty. We have multiple awakenings, opening up to spiritual gifts for the first time and or new gifts. The divine increases your spiritual gifts and level of consciousness after passing certain tests that the divine puts us through. Waking up from the matrix for the first time, 3D earthly realm, and or waking up to new levels of consciousness. See, so this triggers you guys as a spiritual awakening. Okay. And I saw inconsistency there. So one of you guys could be consistent with the path of the spiritual awakening and doing what you're supposed to do on it. And then the other one could be resistant and inconsistent, right? This is in alignment with the dark night of soul. Okay. So this was really a really painful thing for you. And maybe it really wasn't so much for them. But let's see. What else happened, Holy Spirit? What else? So somebody was sneaky and it came out in reverse. So some of you guys, if you haven't already, you found or you're going to be finding out, and some of you guys already found out already, that someone was, being sneaky, right? We have betrayal, backstab, shady, devious. You or someone you're dealing with is not being honest. Someone is throwing a rock and hiding their hand in a situation. There is something being hidden from you or someone else, lying by omission. Okay, so whoever you were dealing with could have did either one of these things here, right? Lying by omission, and that's a big point, and that's a big detail that you would want to know yourself. Sneaky, betrayal, right? Backstab. I've had people throw black magic at me, secretly, and then kiki with me the next day. All right, so some of you guys need to be aware that whoever you're dealing with or was dealing with is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, and if you haven't found that out already, and they were using you, and this same energy wants to reconcile. Well, if they were using them and wasn't necessarily treating them correctly and equally giving and taking, why they all of a sudden want to come back? Holy Spirit. Oh, we have reckless. They haven't accepted the breakup or separation. And so because of that, they are in this impulsive state of being, okay? Reactive, making poor decisions because of the lack of acceptance of the connection being where it is. Careless, right? So you or someone that you're dealing with is not paying attention to how their negative behaviors are impacting a specific person and or community. Someone doesn't realize the impact and consequences of their poor actions until after the damage is done. An unfavorable outcome has presented itself due to someone's reckless behavior in a situation. Accountability and positive behavior change is needed. We can't force anybody to change, right? They have to want to do it themselves here. Okay, so this is a false person. We have spell work in reverse. So some of you guys, if you haven't found out already, they could have tried to put a love spell on you, or send some any form of black magic, try to stop you, trap you, put you in horrible positions, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you haven't found out, now the truth is out. Okay, this is someone that they're telling you you're not able to trust. Okay, in some cases, less often than not, this energy was a chosen one in a sense, lost their way. That's not for everybody. Okay, and so therefore they're having a hard time accepting, like, basically what is. But also at the same time, if the energy took accountability for their actions and the part that they played only, then they will see, oh, well, who wants to be with somebody who treats people like this? And my thing is this: behaviors are learned. So if you didn't like when people treated you that way, what makes you think that people would like how you treat them in the ways that you didn't like to be treated? What makes you think that if you wanted to get away from your abusers when they were mistreating you that way, what makes you think that somebody wouldn't want to get away from you treating them like that as well? That doesn't keep somebody. All right. Not anyone who wants something healthy, at least. Okay. So that's what we have for you guys. You're going to want to be mindful, because just although they want to come back, they have not changed. They're still in the same energy. Okay. But you already know what I say. Thank you all for your love and support here. To truly, truly appreciate it. And always remember, you make your own decisions. Peace out. Deuces.